Hey everyone, welcome back to the most interactive wrestling show on the interweb. Welcome back to Wrestling with Omer. It is Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. Holy shit, it is 2025. My hair is a mess. Um, it is 2025. It is a new year. It is the same vibe though, because we've got a lot to talk about. AEW just launched Max, or just launched themselves on Max. We're going to talk about what that all entails. We can kind of see that now. Same thing just happened with WWE on Netflix. We have a lot to get into about those topics. We're also going to talk about some major returns that took place this past weekend at AEW Worlds. And you had Adam Copeland and Kenny by God Omega make their returns to All Elite Wrestling. Should be a fun show tonight from Asheville as they mark a new era for AEW. And of course, WWE on Netflix. What's going on? Who should we expect? Who shouldn't we expect? What the hell is in store for us on the first Raw on Netflix? It seems like that's going to be a major show. So guys, bring your questions, your comments, your opinions, all that kind of jazz. Bring it in because we've got a big show in store for y'all today. We got Wall Street Money in the chat. Shout out to Wall Street Money. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Y'all know the drill, though, for the show. If you guys have a question, it's a fan interactive show, so leave your questions in the chat. If you guys want to guarantee your question or statements are read out, answered on the air, leave a super chat. The mother of all simulcasts on TBS and Max, cutting the cable. Yep. They are building this up. AEW is as the mother of all simulcasts. And, I think that's a pretty good marketing technique. Do I wish they had done it sooner? Do I wish they had done it better? Sure. Do I wish there was a little bit more hype about this? Sure. Especially when you consider this is like a big moment for them. It's a massive moment for them. They are launching their pay-per-view library today. And they have launched now their pay-per-view library for the past 12 hours in the United States, or if you have a VPN, in the United States. They have their pay-per-view library up. And it's only matches, or it's only pay-per-views, I should say, from the year 2019. And I'll show you exactly what that all entails in just a second. However, I would have loved to have seen AEW hype that stuff up more. And I'm not saying you don't have to go like full on WWE Network with it. Although, to be honest, it was pretty effective. WWE Network showed you exactly what you needed to do on TV in order to get the network and plug it in, all that kind of stuff. But I would have loved to have seen a little bit more than they did, which was basically just, new era on Max. A little bit more. That's all I'm asking. Regardless, it is a new era. And let's just talk about it. Because, there's so much to get into. Kenny Omega versus Okada all in main event. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I do want to talk about this Max thing. So, let me fix my orientation here. Let's do that. All right. So, AEW on Max has officially launched in the United States. And here is what they are offering for all of the United States viewers. It was promised that this was going to be a pretty major deal. It was promised that they were going to have not only past Dynamites, but also past pay-per-views. And we can see now that those are indeed up. You have Dynamite here, past editions of Dynamite. You have past editions of Collision as well, in addition to AEW All Access. And this other tab that says Special Events. And you might be wondering what special events means. We'll click on that just so I can show you exactly what it means. It says All Elite Wrestling's 3 hour plus global mega events. I guess GMEs is what the AEW is going with instead of PLEs. Global mega events leave audiences wanting more as AEW continues to redefine the pay-per-view industry. And as was promised, you can see here for 2019, all of their 2019 pay-per-view library from the first show, AEW Double or Nothing. They even have the Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen shows, to AEW Full Gear 2019 live from Baltimore, Maryland, back in the day, are up. They are going to be rolling out more and more of this throughout the year, but it looks like we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pay-per-views, special events, global mega events, to start things off here for them on pay-per-view as far as the pay-per-view library goes. That is, again, to be expected. They are going to be rolling this stuff out. This is a kind of a new thing for Max as well. If we want to look at the AEW television show, I've already started this, I'm not even going to lie. But if you look at some of the AEW TV stuff, you can see here everything from 2019, as was said at the top for the pay-per-views. All of the Dynamites from 2019 are up. They are here. You can see them. You can also see past Dynamites from the year 2024, which, again, is good because you can see AEW is starting to build up their their catalog. And this also includes collisions from 2024. So you have stuff from this year as far as TV goes, as well as the inaugural year from 2019, and you have the inaugural pay-per-views in 2019. In addition to that, you also can see there's the upcoming stuff for AEW Dynamite Collision. AEW Dynamite Collision moving forward will be simulcast on the Max platform. And then, as a little bit of a something, you have AEW All Access, which was a short-lived backstage reality show that AEW did back in the day. No roads to the top, but they're giving you that. All in all, it looks like this was pretty much what we expected it to be. We were going to see, some of that pay-per-view library start to appear. We were going to see it rolled out, but we were not going to see the entire thing. And I think, over time, they will roll it out. And if I'm AEW, I'm not going to just, simply be like, oh, yeah, look, now we have this on the platform. I'm going to make a major deal of it, right? As soon as you are ready to launch, the entire catalog of 2021 especially, that I would make a massive deal over. Fans have been clamoring for it, and you're finally getting it. Let them know, advertise it, and cram it down people's throats. Because at the end of the day, you want them on Max. You know that streaming is the future, not only for your global live events or whatever, GLEs, but it is the future for television. Is the future for your monetization as a company. So for them, it is critical to make sure that as they roll stuff out, they make sure that they make it as big a deal as possible. And WWE does that same thing. And I'm not saying it needs to be on the same level as WWE, because at the end of the day, WWE is a machine. But one thing that I have been on AEW about is their advertising. And I think they could be significantly better when it comes to their advertising. I think they could be significantly better when it comes to their marketing. And I think this right here is a step for them to show that. And it's the perfect thing because they want to show their value not only as, to their audience, they want to show their value, more importantly, to WBD, because that is how they're going to continue to get paid past the next 3 years. And tonight is a very important night for AEW as far as the simulcast goes. It's the first time they're going to be simulcast on both TBS and on Max. And I expect a lot of people to make a big deal about the AEW ratings number, because it's probably going to be sub 300. I'm going to be real with you. It's going to be probably between 300,000 to 400,000 viewers for AEW Dynamite. I'm going to expect a good amount of people to be switching over on Max. There will likely be some sort of number that comes out on Max, if indeed it is high. I would would not expect it to be something like, over like significantly over 1 million. However, it depends on how they do it, right? Because one thing we know is if you look at like the you know the live +3, like +3 days number for Dynamite in the past, at least it has been significantly over 1 million viewers. And my gut feeling is that it would be, if you account for everything after 3 days, you're gonna get that for Max as well. So I could see them releasing a number that would be that. We know the WWE on Raw is going to do something probably similar to that. As far as like releasing, we had X amount of live concurrent viewers, and then 3 days later, it's going to be total viewers like 15 million or whatever. Because that's kind of how like streaming platforms operate when they're releasing these numbers. And regardless, it is going to be interesting to see what form that takes. But if you guys sign up for Max, you guys can see AEW Dynamite. You guys can see AEW Collision live every week. There should be an option for the pay-per-views, although that hasn't appeared yet. There should be an option for pay-per-views. One thing to note, Wrestle Dynasty is not on this. It seems like Wrestle Dynasty is indeed going to be on the New Japan pay-per-view app. It is going to be on New Japan World, so you're not going to be able to get that there. AEW Grand Slam, it looks like, is expected to be on there, but it is not, again, not populated there. We know that for most of the pay-per-views for 2025, there will still be some sort of fee associated with purchasing the pay-per-view. However, for AEW All In, they've already announced that it is going to be included with your Max subscription. So that's basically everything we know about AEW on Max and kind of where we are right now. I expect them to continue to roll stuff out over the next couple of months, but we will see. Let me know what you guys think about this, though. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the chat, in the comment section. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So, we got a bunch of people in the chat still. But yeah, that's what's going on with AEW right now. I just want to get that off because I felt like that was a pretty crucial information for people. Everybody signed a petition against the signing of Mike Bailey to AEW. They don't need him. He doesn't make any difference. Oh, no. Shout out to Mike Bailey. No. Let my boy get his bag. They need him. AEW should do a brand split, and Mike Bailey should be like the young boy tearing through everything on AEW Dynamite. Let that man cook. I love Mike Bailey. There will be no Mike Bailey slander in my chat. But we'll see. I mean, he did basically like announce that he was going to be that he was going to be leaving the Indies and he was going to be going over to somewhere. So he's expected to sign with AEW though. How long is it going to take for them to put all of the pay-per-views on Max? I would expect them by the end of the year. That's generally like what happened with WWE. It took them about like 8 or so months to really like put everything on Peacock the first time around. But probably end of the year. Definitely by 2026, I think everything will be on there. And remember, that also is going to be like they're going to be doing the live stuff for this year. It's going to be a lot of content. Max is still like rolling this stuff out, so like for them, it's like a massive deal to try to figure all of this out and transition that content. So it's going to be interesting. They have loads of guys even younger that have more established that just as good, if not better. Hey now. I don't know. I don't know. Like, shout out to Mike Bailey, man. He's someone I've wanted to see on WWE or AEW for a long time. So I'm just happy he's going to be signed. Happy New Year, Omer, from Leo Relic. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate you. Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, shit. Dynamite is tonight. Can't wait. Yep, it's going to be a new era for AEW as they usher in or as Triple H would say, the global brand that is the Max era. but global brand. It's gonna be only on Max in the United States. But if you have a VPN, that could fix things. I'm not gonna plug any one VPN because none of them are paying me to do so. So if you guys work for a VPN company out there and they need an advertiser, I'm your guy. I wonder if they're gonna get any lag. So I know that like I've watched NBA games on Max before, and rarely, if ever, I've had any lag. I don't think AEW their viewership for this is going to like. It's not gonna be Tyson and Paul levels of viewership, right? So I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. This is the first live event on Max. Yep. For AEW, no, for AEW, yes, but it is not the first like live stream event on Max. They've streamed NBA games and things like that. They've simulcast stuff before. Let's fucking go, lads! Lord William Ospreay 2024. I'm in Iran, so as you know, I'll have to continue using certain websites as I've used before, so Max doesn't make a difference for me. Yeah, man. VPNs are great. That's all I'm gonna say. I saw your historic heel turn on the Morango show. Is that what you're talking about? My historic heel turn. What was this? What was this historic heel turn? What did this entail? They don't need a WWE brand split. They need all of their top talent, especially those in their prime, on both shows. Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, in a perfect world, I agree with you, and I think that's what should happen. I just don't think that's what's going to happen, given what is taking place and kind of like just what we know about some people's contracts and how much they're working and things like that. I just don't think they're in a place where that's the reality. So for me, I would much rather have it defined. Like, let the people for Saturday Night Collision know that, whoever it is, Kenny, MJF, Adam Cole are always going to be on Collision. That's who you can expect. Let the people on Wednesday know that the Young Bucks, Mercedes Moné, whoever are going to be on Dynamite. I would think that's much better than what they're doing now, which is just like, oh, anything can happen. Because the brand just isn't big enough and hot enough for that right now. No way we got an Omer heel turn before GTA 6. What was this heel turn that's being alleged in the chat? I don't even know. Did I say something in Ango's chat that alluded to a heel turn? I just want AEW to have a better year in 2025. No more shenanigans, just pure fun wrestling. I think we'll get to that. Ricochet will be champion in 3 months. He could be a champion in 3 months for sure. He ain't winning that damn world championship, but he could be a champion for sure. I do like what they're doing with Ricochet. I'm gonna put that out there. I am a fan of the moves they've made with Ricochet. I think he's played a character, which is more than you can say over the past couple of years, and the character work with this like this heel, this gnarly whatever heel is really good. I enjoy it a lot. The toilet paper stuff is crazy. Swerve Strickland coming out, I mean, like 1, 2, 3, having the fans on the toilet paper on him is crazy. What happened to that Saudi belt that Cody and Liv had? It was a one-time trophy. It was a one-time, there was a trophy. You're the champion of champions. And then next year they're going to do it again, whoever the champions are. That's really it. It's a reason to give Saudi Arabia a championship. Think about the greatest Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. That's what this is. Ricochet can dethrone Daniel Garcia for the TNT championship, and then he changes it to the tea and toilet paper championship. What if, hear me out. You know how everyone in AEW for the TNT championship have custom belts? What if Ricochet's design has what if it's made out of toilet paper? like part of it is like meshed together because like it's like wet toilet papers, but it's dried. So that could be the belt part. And then you have like and then you get it like put the TNT thing in there, and then it's like streams of toilet paper just coming out of the belt. Make it happen, Tony Khan. That would be a funny ass belt. That would be a funny ass belt. Give me the TP. Forget the TNT title. Give me the TP title. The belt never left Saudi. Yeah, probably. Yep, I want Ricochet to have an eco-friendly title in the moment Bryan Danielson comes out. I was like, I want that belt. That'd be funny. Once Ricochet joins, they're going to get more heat on him. Maybe that's possible. It's very well possible, and I think honestly, Ricochet is probably in a better spot than he was just a couple of weeks ago. Although, man, I still think that burial he had on Dynamite a couple of weeks ago was really bad. It was really bad. I mean, I guess that was done in order to further the story or whatever, but I still think, like, yikes. Woo! Anyway. But guys, as I said, we've got a lot to talk about. AEW launched on Max. Tonight's the first simulcast. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. We also had Kenny Omega, Adam Copeland return on Saturday night for AEW World's End. Oh, wait, this is a good question. Are past episodes of Rampage going to be on Max? It's a good question. Rampage was not picked up as part of this deal. I don't expect it to be, at least not right now, but I could see it being part of the library in the future, for sure. They buried him, saying AEW wouldn't exist without me. Yeah, well, I mean, he's playing a cheeky heel, isn't he? Anyway, but we had some major returns for AEW. At AEW World's End, Kenneth "By God Omega" made his return. Stoic as all hell, staring down Kazuchika Okada and teasing a match. Okada, Omega 5. It looks like it is happening in 2025, and it looks like it will be at AEW at AEW All In, excuse me. As they kind of teased that with Omega and Okada standing in front of the All In sign. So it looks like we're going to have to wait like 7 months for that match, but patience is a virtue that we all should have at this point with AEW and wrestling in general, considering the way some of these bookers book. And I'm excited for it because I'm glad to see Kenny healthy first and foremost. You know, one of the big concerns about Kenny was like, was he going to be able to come back from diverticulitis? Was he going to be able to return to any semblance of what he was earlier in his career? And he looked like he was Kenny Omega, like in that little interaction he had. He hasn't gotten physical yet. He has a match scheduled this Saturday at Wrestle Dynasty with Gabe Kidd. So we'll see exactly what he's got there. And that's a New Japan match. I expect Kenny to be like full gear, pardon the pun, for that New Japan match. But we'll see. We'll see. It is going to be a major match, though. And I'm glad that I'm going to be able to... I'm going to be there. I'm going to witness Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada for the first time in North America. That is going to be a major, major deal for me. And it's going to make me happy. It's going to make me really happy. I can't wait. Like I said about Jericho, Adam Copeland's on Adam Copeland is on bathroom break. No, Adam Copeland's cooking. No Adam Copeland slander here. The Cope is cooking. Kenneth "By God Omega" versus Kazuchika Okada at All In equals ratings, plus ticket sales, plus 10 stars, plus match of the year contender, plus every fan in the arena will climax. You know, I'm not going to argue with any of that. Especially that last one. I can't even argue with that. That's probably what's going to happen. Ospreay was the MVP of World's End. Yeah, Ospreay played. Ospreay was great at World's End. I just want to put that out there. He's fantastic. Like, for all the people who've said that Ospreay doesn't do character work, for all the people who have claimed that, oh man, he can't sell or whatever, all that bullshit that you hear, I mean, watch that show. There's a reason why Will Ospreay was really There's a reason why WWE wanted him, and they were mad they didn't get him. And there's a reason why Triple H was mad he didn't get Ospreay. That's why. Like, you see him, he's genuinely like the best performer out there today. Like, there's no one who can lace up his boots on a week in, week out basis. There's no one who can lace up his boots in all of wrestling. And again, I'd be mad too if I was Triple H. I'd be salty too if I was Triple H. Ospreay, the best matches. Mercedes stole the show. Man, Mercedes, I mean, I'm going to say it. I think, like, if we're being honest, right? We're talking about consistency and as being booked as a champion, having dominant matches and all that kind of stuff. This is the best run of her entire career, even the Sasha Banks days. Because I don't think she's been cooking like this on a sustained level, like, for this long. Because you look from Double or Nothing until now, that's like, what, 7 months? She's just been cooking. She's had a great match at pay-per-view every single month, with the big, dud being the Britt Baker match, which was not good. And other than that, though, she's been cooking. And she's been the champion. Has the character work been there? But was it? No, but has it really ever been there with her to that level? I think outside of NXT, where it was a lot more polished, no. But besides that, her rivalry with Stat is genuinely like something that's in my view one of the best things that's going on in wrestling today. So, shout out to Mercedes, man. She's really cooking it on a different level, mate, as Ospreay would say. What do you think about World's End? I think it was better than Full Gear. It was really good. I thought so too. I thought World's End was better than Full Gear. I think I've said this before. I'll say it again because I'm just gonna keep on beating that drum. Any show where you have like an arc that starts at the beginning and kind of builds throughout the night, that is going to be an engaging show. It's going to be a great show. And that's what they did. They built up the Will Ospreay injury. First of all, shout out to Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay. That match was fucking insane. Of course, it was fucking insane. That shit killed it. I like there's no other words I can say. Like Ospreay did like an Eddie Guerrero JBL level blade job on himself, and that match was insane. Genuinely, like, I already did my list of matches for 2024, so I'm gonna have to include that in 2025's list. But Jesus Christ, they cooked. I'd say both the Britt Baker match at All In and Hikaru Shida match at All Out were duds, especially the Shida match. Missed some cues and spots, but seeing her in New Japan Stardom matches, I knew oh my God, she is, dude, Mercedes is just cooking on a different level right now than she ever has been. It's just true. People will tell you no. I don't think any of those people have really watched the TV or the matches, and that's fine. People are entitled to their opinion. Like, it's just, if you haven't been watching, which I know there are a lot of people out there who like to talk, run their mouth on social media, run their mouth on YouTube, and say like, oh, well, this isn't really cooking. They're not really doing much. But, the reality is a lot of people just don't watch. They just talk about shit that they don't pay attention to. And again, if that's your grift, if that's how your hustle, if that's how you get clout, money, whatever, that's fine. Do your thing. I'm not going to hate on it too much. But, I am going to say it's pretty, like you could just watch it and give your honest opinion. I wish there was a little bit more of that and across not just wrestling media, but like across the world in general. I think too many people are kind of lying and deluding themselves into thinking their narrative is true without looking at like what's actually going on. And that's just not just wrestling, it's with everything. Had Mercedes never left WWE, she wouldn't open her eyes to a wider horizon of wrestling, and all that was left for her was fanboys. Yeah, I mean, look at the reaction of some of the fanboys, dude. They're mad. They're mad. They're mad that Mercedes is going over there and she's having great matches. Because at the end of the day, there will always. I always say this: the tribalists are gonna tribal. They are going to do their tribalist thing, and they're going to be like, "Oh no, we want our favorite stars only in WWE." Or if someone leaves, they're like, "Oh my god, they betrayed WWE, or they betrayed AEW." Like it's like the whole Cody betrayed AEW narrative. No, Cody Rhodes made the right decision. Cody Rhodes be main evented WrestleMania back-to-back years, was the conquering babyface, got the biggest celebration in WrestleMania history this past year. He made the right decision. Same thing with Mercedes. Notice how pay-per-views, well-paced, World's End was 8 matches and different camera angles. Yep. Expect production to be a lot different, too, over the next couple of weeks. On AEW, they already said that they were going to do some cues with production. I wonder if that also means they're going to be a new stage. We'll see. I guess we'll find out tonight. Her going to New Japan Stardom and then AEW is the best thing for her career. Will she go back to WWE eventually? Yes, but she'd be content if she doesn't at this point. I think so too. I think she's having a blast right now doing what she's doing in AEW. AEW needs to make some roster cuts, switch it up on commentary. AEW needs to be its own separate entity, and let ROH be the forbidden door. AEW is too big now and already took talent from New Japan. I think I'm not going to speak on roster cuts because I'm not going to advocate for anyone losing their jobs or anything like that. But what I will say about switching up on commentary, I did really enjoy the Nigel McGuinness, Excalibur, and to a lesser degree, Tony Schiavone commentary team. I would love to see the commentary team be Nigel McGuinness, Jim Ross, and Excalibur. That's who I want on commentary. I think those three will play very well off each other. Again, I love Tony Schiavone as a person, and I think he does add something to it when he's there for specific reasons. I just am not a huge fan of his style of commentary, especially nowadays, because it just feels like he's like, oh, what a special AEW moment. He's kind of becoming like their version of Michael Cole, which, in a bad way. As far as AEW being its own separate entity, yeah, they need to separate themselves from ROH, for sure. For sure. I compare wrestling fanboys to console fanboys all the time. AEW is the Xbox of gaming and is dead every week for some reason. Yeah. I mean, I have an Xbox, so, I guess, I don't know. Am I only into dead brands? I don't know. I think Penta will show up on the first Raw. Yeah, let's talk about Raw because it's going to be a major show. WWE on Raw is going to premiere on Netflix this coming Monday, January 6th, because they never let you forget that date. But we're going to get Raw on Netflix, a debut episode. Going to be some big surprises as well. They teased Penta with one of the most obvious teases I've ever seen WWE do. Usually WWE, they will leave a little bit up to the imagination. But with the whole Penta thing, they said, nah, who needs imagination? We're just going to go full force with this. We're just going to be like, yeah, bam, hold up. There it is. They showed this image on TV. They are not trying to be tongue-in-cheek about it. They are telling you Penta will be on Netflix. And they should do that. They want this to be the most widely seen event in WWE history. That is the goal here. They want this to be the most streamed event, the most watched event, the most eyeballs on any show ever in WWE history. And I think they have a very good chance of doing that. They're going to bring in The Rock, likely, for this show. They're going to bring in John Cena for this show. Becky Lynch is going to be returning. You have Rollins versus Punk for the first time off of their hot feud. Off their hot promo battle. You have Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. You have potentially a confrontation between Cody and Kevin Owens. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going to happen. They need a girl on commentary. Veda Scott. Bring in Veda Scott. Pile Driver Finisher says, thought the OMAC was OMAC Shane O'Med. Oh, no. No, we're not doing that. The thing about Penta, I do think some of his moveset will be limited in WWE. I think so, too. But to be honest, all he really needs to do in WWE to get over is one flip a match and then Zero Miedo. That's it. Just do this 80 times, and you're going to have Triple H backstage going, yes, no, Penta is, he's bringing in a real flavor. Bringing real flavor of things that WWE's been missing. And look, we're a global brand. We want to bring in everyone. I don't see color, but we want to bring in a diverse audience of global partners in the most hot era of WWE history. And again, like I said, it's a global brand, so that means we're global, international, multiple countries, cultures. And Penta's really tying it all together. Like he's gonna say some shit like that in a press conference, and we're gonna get Penta doing. We're gonna have that. Like you already know. Like we're gonna have the Yeet versus Zero Miedo match. Like that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Oh man. WWE needs to stop doing media scrums. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's a chance for them to get their PR out there. Why not? Does Penta package pile driver as well? I don't think he's going to get the package pile driver. Excuse me. I don't think Penta gets the package pile driver. I think that stays. That stays there for a while or out of it for a while. Kind of like how I'm out of it. New Year's Eve was a long, long time. A long, long night. I mostly just watched stuff on YouTube. After midnight, staying up late, doing productive things instead of actual productive things. Although I did get a video out on Wrestle Vibes about the Seth Rollins CM Punk stuff. I was able to record that late after New Year's, and that was a good video. Go check that out when you get a chance. I'll soon go back. I will go to PC soon because I can have both Xbox and PlayStation there, plus Steam. Holy land of games. Yeah, I've heard good things about Steam. Probably teases it on the pay-per-views, which I wouldn't mind since WWE probably has a ban. I could see him tease it a couple of times. I think, maybe when him and Phoenix finally win the tag belts, I could see that being part of the moveset or part of the finisher, like he goes and he hits that package pile driver for the win. I could totally see that. But or if you're gonna turn him heel, I want him to turn heel, and I want Penta to take over, do a hostile takeover of the LWO, and I want him, and you could do a situation there where he takes out Rey Mysterio with the package pile driver, and he dominates, and he takes over the LWO like that. Besides that, he's pretty good moveset, and he doesn't need... Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need that move either. Yeah, I agree. I think he's... I think Penta by himself is without the... He does not need the package pile driver to make him. He's already a pretty big guy as far as... and pretty talented guy. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him right off the bat. I mean, Rey Mysterio would be the logical thing. Those two have a history. And those two have had some insane matches back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean 6 years ago or whatever, when Rey was on the Indies. But we'll see what they do. I mean, the big question with WWE is how are they going to position talent. I think they've done generally a really good job of positioning talent who come over from AEW, whether it be Shawn Spears, whether it be Cody, whether it be Jade Cargill. Although while I do have criticisms of Jade's positioning in WWE specifically, I do think everyone's been positioned as an important part of the show. And that, at the end of the day, is what matters. In a previous era, they would have been ridiculed. or at least made to eat a little bit of shit in the beginning. And it does not seem like that is the case under Triple H. Thank God. Guys, you haven't already done so, be sure to leave a thumbs up on this. There's 26 of you watching, only 15 likes. Let's get that up to 20 by the end of the stream. Also, just wanted to send a big reminder out for everyone that we are accepting channel memberships. So, guys, if you guys become a member of the channel, you guys can show your support, get access to exclusive perks like access to the Real Take Vault, some content that is no longer available, as well as some custom emotes. So go check that out. Become a member today. Oh, man. I am beat. I am so beat. But we're going to continue on. Guys, also let me know in the comment or in the chat what you guys want to talk about. Let's go. I'm gonna pull a Kai Cenat. Let's go, chat. What do you want to talk about, chat? Let's go. Shout out to Kai Cenat, man. He's cooking out there. But yeah, what else is happening? I mean, Adam Copeland, we didn't really touch on him too much. So it looks like they're doing Adam Copeland versus Moxley right now. And I would expect that to be the big match for Grand Slam? Question mark. I think one way you get to that is tonight on the show. You have Copeland pin Moxley in that tag match. I think that could be a really good way to build up to that. And other than that, I mean, you know, like I think it's going to be a good marquee match for that first Australia show. Other than that, I don't see Copeland being the guy to win it. You know, the big question is going to be who takes the belt off Moxley. I think it should be Ospreay at this point. I think the ship has sailed on trying to build up, you know, Darby Allin to be that guy specifically. But I also think that, like, you have a bona fide star, a bona fide stud in Ospreay. And I think whether it's at, you know, whether it's at, like, Revolution or ideally you somehow stretch this out until All In, in July and make your marquee match Moxley versus Ospreay, AEW World Championship, and then Ospreay goes into Forbidden Door in August in his home country of England as the world champion. You can do a fun, fantastic show over there. That's what I think should happen, but at the end of the day, WWE is going to do what AEW is going to do what they do. Power Driver says, I hope it's Christian. That would be wild. That would be wild. We fixed the chat. We fixed the chat, guys. Don't worry. It's just the technology happens. Don't worry. Hello, Kyle James. Hopefully you're doing well. Man, y'all are so concerned about the chat. I can see it. Don't worry. It's right there. But yeah, I mean, Ospreay has to be the guy at this point. I don't think they've done a good enough job building up Darby or you know, Orange Cassidy to be the guy. At this point, I think it's Ospreay. And look, it's his time anyway. Like he's the world champion. He is the world champion. He needs to be your top babyface. We're pretty much in a situation where it's undeniable. Like it has to. He's basically like, if this was 2023, he's Cody Rhodes. He needs to win the belt. He beat Omega on Rampage before, so IDK. I mean, it's Rampage. Come on, that shit doesn't even matter anymore. The only thing I would change about the Death Riders is switch up Claudio and Yuta for Jack Perry. Yeah. I would maybe have Jack Perry and Kazuchika Okada join the Death Riders, to be honest. That's what I would do. And then you can have a reason for Kenny being up against them. You could have a reason for the Young Bucks being up against them. You could have a reason for Hangman Page being up against them. You could have a reason for Will Ospreay being up against them. Ospreay would sell it. It would be a great match. I agree, Eli. It is just You got to do it, though. You got to pull the trigger on Ospreay. I was saying AEW should book everyone fighting for the briefcase, kind of like a Bullet Train movie. That would be a fun show, or a fun match. I would like that. Do something like that. That'd be fun, especially like since we know Moxley's not going to lose the belt. Make it fun. Make it at least enjoyable and build some suspense to it. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left in the stream. A little bit of a shorter stream than I usually do, but I have to head out in a little bit and take care of some errands today. Got to start my new year off right. I think Okada should go back to being the legend he is, as he showed in the tourney. He is funny. He's a funny heel, but I don't think he fits the Death Riders. So the thing about Okada, right, is Okada's always played like... Here, I'm not going to defend this because I think AEW has gone way too over the line with the comedy stuff with Okada. But Okada's entire thing back in the day was like, he didn't really need to do much to be over. He kind of really, but in big matches, when there was a big pay-per-view or a big event, he would cook. Or if there's a big opponent he was facing, he would cook. And I think, we're seeing a little bit of that where it's like, like on TV, is he phoning it in? Are the matches going as hard as they probably should? No. But when it comes to big pay-per-view matches, the big tournament matches, he understands, yeah, it's time to cook. And I think he's in that mode in his career, like where he gave 10 plus years in New Japan, built himself up to be the biggest star in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now he's in his, I'm going to get my bag era. I'm going to get my bag, chill out, enjoy time with my family. That Royal Rumble Subway train commercial where they fight was tight. They should be able to choreograph that for television, because why not? Of course, folks are going to complain about being pre-recorded. I mean, folks are going to complain about anything. AEW could do the greatest. They could solve world hunger and people are still gonna fucking complain. Same thing with WWE. I don't think neither company's gonna do that, but people are just gonna find a reason to complain. Be a great video for television. Agree with the Bullet Train thing. Yep, I agree too. Darby is already ready. Yeah, I just don't think I don't think he's the guy. I think he's the guy to help the guy though. Okada slapped Ricochet's head. I mean, Okada is the Rainmaker, though. He is the Rainmaker. At the end of the day, man, money is what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. You already know that, Wall Street. You work for Wall Street. You already know that. Oh, man. Guys, be sure to hit that like button. What else do we got to talk about? What's going on? Omos? Oh, yeah, Omos popped up in Noah and won the tag belts. It's crazy. Shout out to Omos, man. Shout out to Omos. And it seems like that's more of a transaction than anything. So it looks like he's there to stay. Oh, here we go. So Tony Khan just tweeted. Oh my goodness, Tony is a sicko. I don't care what any of y'all say. That man is a sicko. So this is the latest Tony Khan tweet. Starting Saturday, January 4th, Collision simulcast on Saturday's TNT and on Max. Our Christmas Collision episode was the most viewed in a year and a half. Elton John Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting is back in 2025. Okay, so that signals to me, for those of y'all out there, that signals to me that there's going to be an upgrade in production. We know that there was some cost cutting that was done in 2024 with not just the Elton John stuff, but also the Pyrone stuff. So we could see some of that making a step or making a comeback in 2024 or sorry 2025. Oh my God, it is 2025. We're old. We're old people. We're old people. Oh, hold up. We got Will Washington giving some tips here. AEW's Will Washington giving some tips on the pay-per-view library. A couple of pro tips for the library connoisseur ready to dive into AEW history. Our shows are grouped in series by AEW and AEW special events, allowing for easily chronological viewing. All series on Max are also searchable by episode name, so finding a specific show should be easy by typing it in. Okay. Shout out to Will Washington for the advice there. CM Punk to AEW confirmed. Oh my God, their bold predictions are crazy, bro. Shout out to Ali and shout out to the entire crew over at Wrestle Talk. Their bold predictions are crazy. CM Punk to AEW confirmed. Elton John, CM Punk is coming back. Jesus, Jesus, y'all are wild. Darby, Hangman, Jack Perry, Swerve are all ahead of the guys that joined recently from New Japan Pro Wrestling, like Fletcher, Jay White, and Ospreay, because they're more established in AEW TV. Darby is the top guy. I would agree with Fletcher and Jay White. I don't agree with Ospreay. I think Ospreay is he's the biggest of all of them. Right now, Ospreay is the biggest in my opinion. Confirmed? Oh my God. Oh no. They changed the stage. Please bring back the chandelier. Bring back the chandelier, Tony. Tony. Look, the people want it. It's not just me. I'm not the only chandelier mark out there. The people want the chandelier. Give them the chandelier, Tony. I just dropped an early AEW women's to watch in 2024. Go check it out on my page, brother. I love you, bro. Shout out to you, Takara World. I will check that out after the show wraps up in a couple of minutes. Speaking of which, we only got 5 minutes left. How would you book Christian Cage cash-in? Oh, God, I don't know. Have him lose. And then have the patriarchy turn on him in that moment and have Copeland save him. And then you can get to Copeland and Christian tag teaming. Because that's what we're building up to. By the way, shout out to Luchasaurus. He's been going through a lot of health stuff recently. But hopefully he's on the mend when it comes to that. And you know, wrestling aside, hopefully he's able to, you know, hopefully he's able to just get back to it, man. It's sad stuff by Luchasaurus. Shout out to Trevor in the chat. What's going on, bro? Happy New Year, my guy. Are you going to watch on Max or cable? Max. I cut cable. So I'll be watching on Max. I don't know if I'll be watching live, though. No, at least not tonight. Got stuff. Happy New Year, Sakara. Happy New Year, everyone. We got about 4 minutes left in the show, and then I got to wrap it up, B, to quote that iconic Dave Chappelle segment. Let me see if there's anything else newsworthy. I'm looking for news as we speak. Oh, God. What is this? This is a wild graphic. Shout out to the AEW graphics department for cooking this up. They ate with this. They ate with this. Yes, Ospreay is popular, but not established on TV right now. Ospreay just has great matches and needs the character development. I would say as a draw, I think this might be a hot take. I think Will Ospreay is a bigger draw than Darby Allin at this point. And that's not like saying, oh, they're horrible. I'm just saying, or he's horrible. I'm just saying, like, I think he's just a bigger star overall. I think he has more crossover appeal than Darby does. Also, bring back the logo. The logo is not coming back. That's the logo we're getting for AEW. That is their logo. We'll see, man. Fight for the Fallen is tonight. All right, guys. I got to run. It's been a great show. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone enjoys AEW tonight. Hope everyone enjoys professional wrestling. Hope everyone enjoys the new year. I know I'm going to enjoy it because I'm not going to be paid for cable anymore. And again, if you're in the United States, get a VPN so you can watch all WWE programming on one platform and you don't have to go anywhere else for it. Anyway, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Takara, Wall Street Money, Trevor, Leo, Paulo Driver, everyone who showed up, showed out. I appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, guys, be happy, be healthy, happy new year, and as always, keep it real.